There we have our starting lineups for the semifinals. Game 1 it is, featuring Tanduay and San Juan. For San Juan, it is
Filbasket. We are still here in the San Jose del Monte Sports Complex. And as many people have been saying, papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part because this is Game 2 of the semifinals of the Filbasket 2022 Summer Championships presented by Puregold. This matchup is between the San Juan Knights and the Tanduay Rum Masters. You can head on over to the rising city of San Jose del Monte to catch this game in the flesh, but we are also live on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Kumu with a delayed telecast on Solar Sports. Magandang hapon po muli, ako po si Megan Cabrera. Kasama ko ngayon si Ken Pangilinan and Coach Mike Perez. Good afternoon, guys. Kamusta kayo?
Yeah, I'm good, Megan. Really excited for our games for today, and I really expect both games to go down the wire this time.
Very interesting itong dalawang games that we had today. Is it going to be an extension to Game 3 or will things stop here in Game 2?
Bago natin pag-usapan ng laro ngayon, ang Filbasket kaka-announce lang ng All Filbasket Tournament Defensive Team. Kinabibilangan doon, Ron Denison, Michael Wico, Felix Aprecu, Marky, and Jexter Apinan. Ken, paano bang napapasali sa team na ito?
So basically, the selection process was based purely on a coach's vote. So lahat ng coaches natin, all 12 teams had a say kung sino kabilang dito sa all defensive team natin.
Coach Mike, ikaw bilang isang coach, ano bang hinahanap mo sa isang player para makasali sa team na ito?
Well, there are a lot of things na hinahanap mo po pag defensive player ang tinitingnan natin. A lot of the intimidation, a lot of those stats that we're looking at tinitingnan rin ng mga ibang coaches. And I just want to say na itong mga coaches natin really know their basketball because these 5 players really are the best players that did them well defensively for their teams.
We know that the Filbasket has a lot of talent. Who do you think is missing in this lineup, Ken?
Well, for me, it's Justin Gutang of the San Juan Knights. Really a versatile big guy. Can guard through 1 through 5. Really reminds me a lot of Sean Marion, Megan.
For you, Coach Mike?
Well, for me, it's really Michael Mabulak. No? He's a guy who's big, who can guard against the post, who can also extend the defense out in the perimeter. And sobrang intimidating yung factor na yan si Michael Mabulak. And from what I heard, he actually landed the 6th vote in the defensive votes of all the coaches. So kudos to Mike Mabulak about that.
Okay, punta naman tayo sa updated playoffs bracket. We are down to our last 4 teams. And this is a best of 3 series. 2 teams have already secured their first win. So our first bracket is between the Tanduay Rum Masters and the San Juan Knights. The San Juan Knights already with their 1-up. And the Nueva Ecija Capitals versus the All-Star Bacolod Ballers, Bingo Plus, where the Nueva Ecija Capitals have the advantage. Now we move on to our game for today. This is the San Juan Knights versus the Tanduay Rum Masters. And let's look at their game, their first game. Now, the San Juan Knights, it was a surprising game because the Tanduay Rum Masters have been spotless through the elimination round and through the quarterfinals. But the San Juan Knights really took that game with a 26-point lead. Ken, ano masasabi mo sa larong yun?
Well, for Tanduay, very uncharacteristic, 23 turnovers. It seems like they had a hard time executing against the San Juan Knights zone defense and the full court press nila.
Coach Mike?
Well, I think tama yung sinabi ni Ken. No? Talked about the turnovers that were forced on the Tanduay Rum Masters. And really, they did very well in converting those into points as well. And it gave them more opportunities at shot attempts, having shot 15 more than that of what Tanduay had.
Coach Mike, we have the player of the game, Jonard Clarito, but at the same time, meron tayong iba pang players na nag-stand out para sa San Juan Knights. Can you tell me more about that?
Oh yeah, definitely. We're talking about CJ Isit. I feel that CJ Isit is one player that maybe they didn't give much attention dito sa series na ito. But right now, I'm sure they're really looking at CJ Isit. If I may just say, in the 3rd quarter of that elimination game, we already saw brilliance from CJ, which he really just carried over at the start of that game in game number 1.
Ken, sa kupunan naman ng Tanduay Rum Masters, we know that they have stepped up, that they need to step up. Sino ang inaasahan nila for this game?
Well, Jexter Apinan, although okay naman numbers niya, 10 points, 6 rebounds, a far cry from his season averages. So I expect him to really bounce back here. Pero Levy Hernandez, only 3 points, 3 turnovers. He's got to be better. Baka makalagwa itong Tanduay Rum Masters.
Coach Mike, ano bang kailangan gawin ng San Juan Knights to take the semifinals and really get their tickets to the finals today?
Well, before that, I just want to say that Justin Gutang also did a really good contribution to CJ Isit, and that also played well for the team. And eto, pag tinignan natin ng San Juan Knights, first, they gotta keep the pace, no? Keep the pace of the game. Very fast the way they started game 1. Pagpatuloy lang nila, it's really that set up the momentum para dito sa team ng San Juan. And also, secondly, they have to sustain that press. That press was able to delay any offensive sets na gustong gawin ng Tanduay. And hopefully, on the other end naman, mukhang Tanduay is gonna look at answering that as well. And lastly, they gotta remain in the zone because that zone kind of like stymied yung offensive sets nitong Tanduay Rum. And we'll see how that impacts now as we go into game number 2.
Ken, on your end, what do the Rum Masters need to do to extend this series?
Well, for Tanduay, they have to dictate the tempo of this game. Really stick to the game plan nito ni Coach Cholo Villanueva. I feel like nung first game, nung nag-zone defense itong San Juan, they had a hard time, nawala sila sa game plan nila. Secondly, control the board, especially on the offensive end, para ma-stop yung transition offense itong San Juan Knights. And lastly, close out on shooters. They have to force Judel Fuentes, ito si CJ Isit to drive, forced to create plays para dito sa San Juan.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Now we turn it over to Sam Coloso because I'm sure we want to hear from these guys themselves. Sam, kasama mo ngayon, two guys who have been really stirring the pot on social media.
Thank you, Megan. Kasama ko nga ngayon ang ating MVP, Justin Gutang from the San Juan Knights. At kasama ko din ang ating number 2 on the MVP race, Cedrick Ablaza from the Tanduay Rum Masters. Said 11-0 nung elimination rounds. In fact, ang daming ang fans na nagsasabi na ikaw dapat ang MVP, pero hindi nangyari yun.
Siyempre, sabi ko lang doon sa mga fans na nag-support, thank you sa kanila. Pero they explain naman sa akin kung saan nila binace yung pagiging MVP. So I accept it. Justin, you deserve to be MVP, bro. Congrats, bro. But today's game, we're gonna bounce back.
Justin, congratulations on being MVP.
Thank you so much. Just like what Seth said, if he would have won the MVP, I wouldn't even be mad. He's just to be in the same, level as him is just a huge blessing and honor.
Good luck on today's game, gentlemen. Now we're a few moments away from Game 2 tip-off. We're sending it over to Ryan Villana for the introduction of starters.
Live from the rising city of San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, this is Filbasket Summer Championship 2022, presented by Puregold. This is game number 2 of the semifinal series between the San Juan Knights and the Tanduay Rum Masters. Are you ready? Let's meet the starters of the San Juan Knights. At point guard, standing 5'9" from Mapua University, number 1, CJ Isit. At shooting guard, 5'10" from Centro Escolar University, number 17, Judel Fuentes. At small forward, standing 6'4" from De La Salle College of St. Benilde, number 18, Justin Gutang. At power forward, 6'4" from Mapua University, number 10, Maki Acosta. And at center, standing 6'6" from Philippine Christian University, number 6, Mark Sarangay. The interim coach of San Juan is Nani Pundalan. And now, the starters of the Tanduay Rum Masters. At point guard, 5'10" from the University of the East, number 10, Rudy Linganay. At shooting guard, standing 5'11" from the University of Perpetual Health System Delta, number 45, Chong Baloria. At small forward, 6'1" from the University of the East, number 18, Ralph Olivares. At power forward, standing 6'3" from SCI College, number 11, Cedrick Ablaza. And at center, standing 6'4" from Jose Rizal University, number 43, Dexter Apinan. The head coach of Tanduay is Pocholo Villanueva. Our officials for this game, crew chief is Ruel Tolentino. First umpire is Johnson.
Welcome to Game 2 of the semifinals matchup between the Tanduay Rum Masters and the San Juan Knights. Ito San Juan Knights leading 1-0 in this best-of-3 series. Ako po si Ken Pangalinan alongside Coach Mike Perez. At makikita natin starting lineup, Coach Mike. Immediate adjustments for Coach Cholo Villanueva.
That's right, and it's not just the immediate adjustment on the side of Coach Cholo, even on the side of San Juan. Well, starting off with Tanduay, they really are starting, I guess, energy guys coming off to start this game. Samantala itong San Juan, what's interesting to me is that they don't have a Jonard Clarito starting and they don't have a Christian Bunyag starting the game. So, very interesting yan because in that first game, ang laki ng energy binigay nung si Jonard Clarito ang nag-start para sa San Juan.
And Tanduay wins the first step here. Baloria for free! Knocks it down!
Well, if you're Coach Cholo, that's a good sign for you. You want to start out really aggressive.
Meanwhile, mabilis na sagot. Galing dito kay Jodel Fuentes.
Did we just say that we're in the semifinals? This is just game 2. Sobrang exciting na to. First 2 possessions pa agad natin. 3-pointers kagad from 2 of the premier guards from both teams.
Kakaupo lang natin, Coach Mike. Mainit na agad ang bakbakan dito. Linganay kontra dito kay Isit. Apinan, handoff to Baloria. Shot clock winding down. Turnover. Isit for the fast break layup.
Well, 2 things that I saw different here at San Juan. No? They're starting out with the man zone, but they're still continuing with the leak outs, live turnover action. Basta every time live over, they're looking for transition kagad. Ganun pa rin ang ginagawa nitong San Juan.
Apinan trying to attack ito si Sarangay. Ablaza with offensive board. San Juan really trying to delay itong attack nitong Tanduay, but Rudy Linganay with the basket.
At the way the game is going, Ken, mukhang medyo komportable itong Tanduay Rum because they're seeing their looks, they're able to execute their base offense, and it gets everyone in the right spots.
Makita mo, Coach Mike, different look din on defense. Talking about itong Tanduay, Acosta, mid-range, J is pure.
And that's why you have a Maki Acosta because you want those medium-range jumpers, especially against the zone, in order to open it up para makapasok yung kanilang mga perimeter guys as well.
Maki Acosta only played 8 minutes in their last game, scored 1 point. Meanwhile, Linganay, who was scoreless in their last game, now has 5 here in game number 2.
Boy, the Tanduay Rum guards of Linganay and Baloria starting off the way the guards of San Juan started that game 1. And talagang mukhang interesting itong laban na ito, Ken.
8-7 ang ating talaan, under 8 minutes left. Fuentes, this time missing on the free. He's it, swings it. Acosta, pumukol sa 3. Too strong. And bola mapupunta sa Tanduay.
Well, good defense there put up by itong Tanduay Rum Masters. Again, they're able to make those executions. As you see right here, that 2-man game with Rudy Linganay finishing off with that 3.
And that instant replay is brought to you by Smart. Simple. Smart ako. Linganay off the screen. Great defense there by Justin Gutang.
Well, that's good defense on Justin, but the thing on the side of Tanduay, that's one look that you never saw in the first game. You have Dexter Apinan able to drive. And talagang napakaganda nitong nangyayari na ito para sa Tanduay. And interesting for both teams.
Olivares, who scored 10 points in their last game. Nakashoot doon, 10-7 is our tally. Isit. Pasa kay Gutang for free. Pasok yan.
Kita mo si Olivares, nung nakita niya na libre si Justin Gutang, immediately he went there. Because while we say Justin loves to go left, anywhere on the 3, kaya kang i-hit niyan.
Frantic pace to start the first quarter. 10-all ang ating score. Ablaza First time starting here for Coach Cholo Villanueva. That shimmy move is pure.
Coach Cholo loves running that shuffle cut a la UCLA to bring Cedrick Ablaza to the post, but because that's where he operates most of the time. And this is going to be an advantage for Tanduay if they're able to execute that.
Fuentes, his third attempt, knocks it down.
Grabe ang shooting nitong dalawang teams na token.
Kanino nagpi-favor itong pace na to? But before that, Coach Mike, we turn you over to our courtside reporter.
Sabi nga ni Coach Cholo from the Tanduay Rum Masters, it was a humbling experience to lose. Sabi ni Coach, you really can't win all games, but it was a good way to find a solution. They prepared yesterday, and Coach is hoping they can apply everything today. They had problems on both ends, offense and defense. Sabi ni Coach, they were bound to lose, but it's a good thing it happened in Game 1. It's an upward trend from here. Sabi nga ni Jexter Apinan, parang relationship yan. Dapat you have to learn to let go. Anong balita dyan, Megan?
Sam, para naman kay Coach Nani yung dala ng San Juan, if there is one thing he is proud of in his team, it is the spirit of and hearts of the Knights na bumabalik at lumalabas palalo. They took Game 1 but they know Game 2 will not be easy. They are prepared mentally and physically, and sabi nga nila ang battle cry nila, it remains to be Laban San Juan. Ken and Mike?
Thank you very much, girls. That was Sam Coloso and Megan Cabrera working the sidelines here as Jexter Apinan with that fast break layup.
Boy, I love the energy, Ken, of how Tanduay Rum is starting. And San Juan's trying to find a solution para dito sa zone defense na nilalaro ngayon itong Tanduay Rum.
We're not even at the halfway point. Nakaka-16 points na itong Tanduay. Fuentes, as we take a look at the three-point shooting. Blistering start for both teams. He's it. Shot clock winding down. Sarangay. Cross-court pass. And that shot will not count. 24-second shot clock violation.
Yeah, naputukan sila doon dahil sa ganda ng depensa nitong Tanduay Rum. Nakita mo kanina from the right side, dribble middle itong si CJ Isit. Before, single coverage lang yun. But yan ngayon, they're bringing a second guy because they know CJ Isit can hurt them in this game.
CJ Isit in their last game scored 12 of his 19 points in this quarter. Sama mo pa dyan, 4 threes.
And of course, itong si CJ Isit, I talked to him earlier and he says, I asked him, did you feel like you were not guarded enough at hinahayaan ka lang to do whatever you want? Sabi niya, yes, and I took that as a personal challenge. I took that as a disrespect because I know I'm a scorer even back in the days when I was in Mapua.
Kaya naman ngayon, markado siya dito ng Rum Masters. Meanwhile, Ato Ular, pinasok na dito. And assist story, very much even. 5-3 itong assist story natin, Coach Mike.
That's right. And these two teams, of course, pag pinag-usapan nating assist, they're averaging, what, 20 apiece every game, and they're on schedule to do that.
Valoria kicks it out. Apinan. Pasok yun. And Jexter Apinan, early offense, Coach Mike.
It's just different, I guess, without a Christian Bunyag in the middle. Kasi doon pa lang na nag-start sila, napipigilan na kagad nila yung ibang mga penetrations na yun, yung intimidation factor ng height nito si Christian Bunyag, mukhang wala ngayon dito sa San Juan.
And we would like to remind you that Wilson is the official game ball of the 2022 Filbasket. Ablaza, second serving is good.
Pinag-usapan natin kanina, Ken, keys of the game, dapat keep the pace. That's for San Juan. Mukhang Tanduay Rum ang gumagawa nito ngayon sa game na ito.
20-13, 7-point lead for Tanduay. Ular, covered by the defense, and turnover here. Apinan attacks the defense. Olivares reverse though. And before that shot, may napituan ng foul kontra sa San Juan.
Yep, and those turnovers are really working well para sa Tanduay Rum. Just doing everything as you see that undergoal stab barely going in. Pero yun nga, medyo nagkatulakan sa ilalim at kaya may natawag na foul.
Meanwhile, San Juan Knights calls for time. 8 unanswered points for Tanduay. Kaya lamang sila dito 20-13 here in the first quarter. here in the rising city of San Jose del Monte in Bulacan as we take a look at Commissioner and co-founder of Filbasket, Jai Reyes, enjoying the action between the Tanduay Rum Masters and the San Juan Knights. Ako po si Ken Pangilinan alongside Coach Mike Perez, and working our sidelines, si Sam Coloso and Megan Cabrera.
I like the smile on Commissioner. Talagang sabi niya, oh, medyo maganda tong game na to. It's really good at napakaganda ng competition between Tanduay and San Juan.
7-point lead, 3 minutes and 24 seconds left. Meanwhile, natawagan ng traveling doon si Cedrick Ablaza.
Yeah, but that's what he normally does. Back to the basket, post moves. Meron niya kay Cedrick Ablaza, kaya yun naman ang pinupuntahan nitong Tanduay Rum.
We would like to remind you that Filbasket is brought to you by Cilium Fiber, manufactured by Leone Agri Corporation. Clarito, pinasok na dito ni Coach Nani Epondulan. Shot clock winding down, only 8 seconds left.
And boy, that defense really causing problems para dito sa San Juan. For the last 4 possessions, talagang kinakain yung ano nila, yung 24-second shot clock, and you want to develop your offensive sets early on para may baka pang moves na pwedeng gawin and other options. But right now, it's really been the defense of Tanduay.
3.1 seconds left sa shot clock ng San Juan. Clarito banks it in.
Well, good thing that Jonar Claritos hit already his first shot. He's the energy guy na na-miss natin sa starters ng San Juan. We'll see how things change with him on the floor.
First made basket in 3 minutes for San Juan, but they cut the lead to 5 points. Linganay, step back. Pasa kay Ablaza, 4-3. Wala. Valora skies high for that rebound. Linganay, cross court. Olivares, 4-3. Pasok yan.
There's just something about the lift of yung mga player ng Tanduay. Parang nagkabaliktad nga di ba? Parang ganun So isip mo, 10 rebounds already for Tanduay versus just 2 for San Juan. Credit the aggression for Coach Cholo's team.
And mostly on the offensive end, giving them second chance opportunities. Meanwhile, Wamar, sobra sa kanyang dress. But Ato Ular, right place at the right time.
Right there, si Ato Olar able to go back to what went well for them in the first game, which is scores in the paint or points in the paint. They got to do that. They got to be able to control that again in game number 2.
Under 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. In what has been a frantic played game so far. Isit. Balik kay Gutang. Bullet pass. And bola mananatili sa San Juan Knights.
Ganda ng read na yun ni Justin Gutang kanina.
And that assist delivery of the game is brought to you by Happily, which is now available via Grab Delivery and Takeout.
No factor of all of intimidation para dito sa Tanduay Rum. Talagang kinalimutan na nila and they have to move on. Sabi nga ni Jexter kanina.
And very impressive, Coach Mike, considering 11-0 nga sila no elimination round. And now, with their backs against the wall, as Don Peralta hits a 3.
Well, I'm sure Coach Chol is going to talk to the guys on that right side of the floor because I think they've already hit, what, 3 buckets from that area, 2 of them from the 3-point region. And maybe that's something that Coach Cholo might be looking at on their next timeout.
Meanwhile, Wamar on the fast break attempt. And we would like to thank Cantigo Scoreboard Multisports Scoring Solutions. Olivares challenging the defense. Itong si Don Peralta.
This is going to be a high-scoring game. At the rate, the pace it's going, both teams on live turnovers and on misses. First instinct, go and run.
Let's see here, Ralph Olivares hacked there by Don Peralta.
But Peralta just late recovering to that transition attempt by itong si Olivares.
We would like to thank our prize money sponsor, Medisure Pharmacy. That free throw knocked down by Olivares. Coach Cholo Villanueva, unfamiliar territory for him. Yun nga, 11-0 in the elimination round. But ito, win or go home na para dito sa Tanduay.
Now, this is an interesting move by Coach Cholo. He brings in Levy right here in the middle wherein talagang nakapag-set na ng tone itong Tanduay Rum. In a more relaxed Levy Hernandez, I feel would be advantage to Tanduay Rum.
At alam natin, gigil bumawi yan. Meanwhile, Justin Gutang
with his second free.
MVPs do MVP things, and when the cards are down, you gotta step up. And that's why you have Justin Gutang right there, our MVP in this season.
32 seconds left in the first quarter. San Juan trailing by 2. Ablaza, mid-range jumper, rims out.
Well, Ablaza so far missing, I think, his last 2 attempts. As we see action underneath.
John Ray Villanueva napituan ng foul doon. As we take a look, Justin Gutang, left corner triple, cuts the lead down to 2 points.
Well, if you look at shot charts from a three-point perspective, that left side corner, that right side corner, and that right side wing, those are the favorite spots of Justin Gutang. So every time that you see him free from that area, you gotta close out hard.
Actually, Justin Gutang, really small number of attempts in terms of three-pointers, but very efficient.
Very efficient, right. He picks his shots pagdating sa 3 points
And because of that foul, meron tayong 5-second differential between shot clock and game clock, which is now down to 2 seconds. Gutang for 3. No go. Fuentes trying to recover the ball. But at the end of the first quarter, we have 25 for Tanduay and 23 for San Juan as we take a look at some of the highlights in the opening frame.
And ito, makita natin immediately Tanduay Rum going aggressively to the rack, kind of like how San Juan started that. But things, they really look at shooting pagdating naman dito sa San Juan, trying to bust that zone with those attempts from the outside. But the interior defense has really been, I guess, less than what was compared to Game 1. And the good thing is, Cedrick Ablaza is scoring in the first quarter.
Tanduay up by 2 as we head into the second quarter. Take a look at the crowd here at the City of San Jose del Monte Sports Complex in Bulacan as we bring you Game 2 between the Tanduay Rum Masters and the San Juan Knights. Nakauna na ang San Juan in Game 1. So ito, Tanduay needs to win Games 2 and 3 to stay alive here at the Filbasket Summer Championship. Ako po si Ken Pangilinan, kasama si Coach Mike Perez. And kasama rin namin si Sam Coloso and si Megan Cabrera, our courtside reporters. And big story so far, Coach Mike, in the first quarter. Jonah Clarito tying the game. The three-point shooting itong San Juan Knights. And also itong Tanduay Rum Masters, really efficient.
At saka yung volume ng attempts between these two teams, there's already 16 three-pointer attempts and we're in the first quarter alone pa lang. And I was going to say, Ken, kanina we showed a stat about, a graphic about yung rebounds, na dalawa lang ang rebounds nitong San Juan. Well, that's expected because Tanduay Rum Masters, they're the #1 team when it comes to rebound, averaging roughly 30 apiece in every game.
In the first quarter, lamang sila 13-6 in terms of total rebounds. As you see that second chance points, 9-2 lamang dito ang Tanduay Rum Masters. Meanwhile, John Ray Villanueva whistled for an offensive foul.
And John Ray was trying to back down against Orlan Wamar and just got hit somewhere on the head. And we'll see that again.
Trying to take advantage of that supposedly mismatch.
Yeah, it was the arm and the elbow that hit that on the chin.
But John Ray Villanueva, really impressive performance the last time out. 17 points, top scoring for them in game number 1. Wamar, pasa kay Fuentes. Clarito for 3, that's short. And Clarito fighting for the loose ball. Kaso he was out of bounds.
Yeah, we've been talking about Ken, yung strong start nitong Tanduay Rum, but we have to also credit as we see that out of bounds there. And Jonard and King just really going at it. I was going to say, Ken, na makikita mo talaga dito yung importance ng staying composed because while San Juan started out slow, they kept their composure and slowly crept back into this game.
Hernandez with that dipsy-do move.
They're gonna need more of that from Hernandez. Open floor, nobody on him. He's gonna make that for the most part para dito sa Tanduay.
Coach Cholo Villanueva trying to confuse itong San Juan with different looks on defense.
Right.
Peralta attacking the closeout. Clarito, fadeaway jumper. No go.
Look at the number of red shirts. Every Tanduay San Juan player goes inside that paint. There's always 4 and 5, and wow, what a play right there.
Mark Neil Cruz, the bang in the bucket to put them up by 4 points. Gandang pasa, di importante para dito kay Cruz, and that instant replay is brought to you by Smart. Simple, smart ako.
Yun yung mga intangibles na binibigay nito si King Importante. The hustle plays, able to defend perimeter players, and look at that. Even on outlet, he can issue that assist for that finish by itong si Mark Cruz.
Coach Mike, pinag-usapan natin Christian Bunyag. Increased minutes in his last 3 games. Ngayon palang pinasok ni Coach Yong Garcia.
Yup, and yung minutes niya in the first game was twice his average. Roughly, nag-average lang yan ng 13 minutes a game. But that time around, yung sa game number 1, 26 minutes with 8 points. Very efficient. And yung intimidation factor kasi nung height ni Christian.
5-point lead by Tanduay. Under 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Peralta, tumira sa 3. Sobra. Tanduay really trying to increase the pace. But Mark Cruz with that illegal screen.
Yeah, you gotta give the guy some room before he hits you. You don't go to him, kaya yun ang tinawag dito kay Mark Cruz. But notice, every time when a miss comes up on that side of the floor para sa Tanduay, immediately they go and run. 4 players immediately on Tanduay in the front court looking for an opportunity to score transition baskets.
As we see here, Fuentes trying to fight off the screen, but Mark Cruz natawagan doon for that offensive foul. Makikita natin Coach Mike, expected naman Coach Cholo Villanueva with the adjustments, pero ito si Coach Nane Pundalan has that counter adjustments naman to that adjustment ni Coach Cholo.
That's right, and yung mga bunot niya sa bench, as you see this 3 attempt, keeping Clarito and Christian Bunyag off the bench. Different tactic, but probably just to give a different look to Coach Cholo at magulat siya. But the good thing is, Coach Cholo didn't matter kung anong i-start niyo. We're just gonna do what we practice and we will do our plan.
Tanduay sticking to that 1-3-1 zone. Clarito, kontra dito kay Mark Neil Cruz. And Cruz with a big denial. Bullet pass, Levi Hernandez for free!
Talk about defense to offense. A swat on the other end. An immediate open 3 right there in the corner. If you're Coach Cholo, you're loving how your team's been playing so far.
Biggest lead of the game so far. 8 points para sa Tanduay. Bunyag barrels through the lane. Mapibiyayaan siya dito ng 2 free throws.
Well, of course, itong si Christian Bunyag, one of the younger players, a big guy ng San Juan, playing alongside Mark Sarangay and Acosta. I mean, this kid's gonna learn a lot from those experienced big men in their team.
Meanwhile, Mikey, balita muna tayo first kay Megan Cabrera.
Ken, it's simple for Coach Nani. He wants his boys to really capitalize on defense and execute the play. They know who they are up against and they just have to go hard, get the ball, and really run. Sam, sakupanan mo naman?
Thank you, Megan. Sabi ni Coach Cholo Villanueva ng Tanduay Rum Masters is to stay wide on big zones. Sabi ni Coach, pag nakuha natin ang bola, i-push natin and create an aggressive zone. Ken, Coach Mike?
Thank you, girls. And Coach Cholo Villanueva, concerned look so far, but itong Tanduay Rum Masters up by 7 points here in the second quarter.
And that was on point, no? As we see that action underneath.
And looks like Jonard Clarito at itong si Joshua Gonzalez nagkiskisan doon.
Well, we were kind of expecting this because, you know, a lot at stake, mas lalo na for Tanduay. And the physicality, even when we talked to the players earlier, they expect this game to be physical. And we're talking to both
San Juan and Tanduay.
And the referees have their hands full. Talking about ito si Ruel Tolentino, Eric De Mapanag, and John Santiago. King importante.
Number 18, Justin Gutang, his first personal, second team foul.
So wala. Parang ano, pinabayaan lang nila nun. Only Justin Gutang was called for that foul.
Yeah, and yung sa report kanina Keno nila Megan tsaka nila Sam, napakaganda ng mga sinabi ano. Sabi ni Coach Nani Pondolan, they want to capitalize on the defense and then execute on the offense, which is really what we're seeing on the floor. On the other side, yun rin yung nakikita natin sa side ng Tanduay. Coach Cholo says, be wide on those big zones and be aggressive.
Chess match talaga.
Yep.
In terms of ito si Coach Cholo Villanueva and Coach Nani Pondolan. Levy Hernandez. No go, but Jexter Apinan, specialty of the house.
That's one thing that Jexter had difficulty in Game 1 against Christian Bunyag. But now, he's taking it on his shoulders that he will beat this battle with Christian Bunyag.
Fuentes gives them another opportunity at the basket. Wamar kontra ay Levy Hernandez. 6 seconds sa kanila shot clock. For 3, it's good.
I like the cool and the calmness nitong si Orlan Wamar. Everybody was shouting oras, pero siya kalmado lang at dinalawa pa niya. Galing!
Man, back-to-back triples. Forces Coach Cholo Villanueva to call timeout. 6-0 run para dito kay Orlan Wamar.
Ito yung kanina yung shot clock winding down. Everybody was saying, shoot it. Pero si Orlan Wamar, kalmado lang. At pagbalik niya, naka-steal pa sila. And another 3 for Orlan, making it 6 points in a row, all from beyond the arc.
And it cuts the lead down to 3. Kaya magbabalik po muna kami. The crowd here enjoying the action between the Tanduay Rum Masters and the San Juan Knights.
All day.
Mamaya, matutunghayan yan.
Matutunghayan natin yan, si Alvin all day.
Meanwhile, Levy Hernandez, only 3 points and 3 turnovers in their last game.
Wow, this is a ploy that they returned para San Juan. That double fist full court press wherein they let the receiver receive it and they doubled them on the receiving end.
8-0 run for San Juan, cutting the lead down to a single point.
And major adjustments here para sa Tanduay Rum as we Jexter traveled right there.
And ito na naman, yung full court pressure nitong San Juan Knights giving Tanduay problems.
But what was the difference from the first game in that first quarter? Yung press nila is just a delay para lang kumain ng oras pagdating dito sa front court. Pero ito talaga, they're going for those steals.
It's a different look. Meanwhile, that pass not being Justin Gutang not able to handle. Bola mababalik dito sa Tanduay Rum Masters.
That's one of the favorite reads actually between the guards of San Juan and Justin Gutang. Every time he's coming from that right wing and it's being closely guarded, they immediately go to that backdoor and the possible alley-oop.
Patuloy pa rin ang pressure defense itong San Juan. Ablaza gets it to their front court. Take that mid-range jumper. Wala. Fuentes, as we would like to thank Cantigo Scoreboard Multisports Scoring Solutions. Clarito, no go, but Judel Fuentes with a stick back.
Well, Judel staying on that play, and this press has been doing wonders para dito sa San Juan.
At labang na dito ang mga taga San Juan, 36-35. Just past the halfway point of the second quarter. Apinan. Pasa dito ay Palokya sa loob. And man, Tanduay really having a hard time against the defense of San Juan. Gutang, bullet pass. Wamar Balik dito kay Justin. Larito, open free. Valoria trying to settle things down. And our prize money sponsor is brought to us by Medisure Pharmacy.
They're trying to involve Christian Bunyag on those high pick and rolls para lumabas siya sa shaded area. And just like that one.
Kapinan. Wala. Lingana with that three. Wala pa din. And battle for the loose ball as Ralph Olivares crashing into the San Juan bench. Take a look here. Battle for the loose ball. Di tinawagan.
Yeah, in the heat of competition, ganyan talaga mangyayari dyan. You know, you want to end that series now and not give any momentum to Tanduay. So these things are really expected. This physicality, I mean, even the players pre-game, they said they know that this is going to be a much closer game than what Game 1 was.
At nung Game 1, ito si Ralph Olivares nakikipagsagutan sa bench ng San Juan Knights. Particularly in the third quarter when he was having a great quarter.
And of course, also there's a lot of pride involved in here. Lalo na sa side ng Tanduay because they swept the eliminations. They were expected to, you know, get into the finals because of that record. But right now, standing in front of them is San Juan. And with an opportunity like this, Tanduay Rum is really going to find a way to respond and extend this series to Game 3.
10-0 run for the San Juan Knights. That's why they have the precarious 1-point lead. 36-35. Kapinan denied by Bunyag.
Look at the value of a Christian Bunyag. Kanina, Jexter could get in there and make a finish. But right now, mapapaisip ka talaga. Look at that. Beautiful pocket pass. Straight line finish na dapat niya kay Jexter. But look at the length of Christian Bunyag able to stop that.
Cedrick Ablaza still empty on that three. Linganay retrieves the ball. And bola. Balik dito sa Tanduay. Valoria for free. That's short. Larito.
Wow. Grabe ang action dito. Ang panalo dito yung mga fans at yung mga nag-cheer sa kanila because you love the competition in both these teams.
Sa ngayon ko lang napansin, Coach Mike, parang mas marami yung tao this time around here in game number 2. Compared to game number 1. Meanwhile, Tanduay trying to capitalize. Olivares gets fouled hard by Jodel Fuentes.
The fouls are going to be a little bit harder because this is the playoffs. Ika nga ni Draymond Green. Not everybody is built for the playoffs. As we see that strong hack by Jodel Fuentes. Twice already we've seen Jodel get involved in these physical incursions.
And pareho dyan, kontra dito kay Ralph Olivares. And referee signaling for that unsportsmanlike foul against Jodel Fuentes.
So unsportsmanlike called on Jodel Fuentes. Well, here's the thing, kanina when we were starting and we were discussing, there's a Jodel Fuentes given that unsportsmanlike foul. We were discussing Ken earlier. Now ito is more mental and we have Commissioner Jai here again. Just watching and loving this match and talagang this bodes well para sa Filbasket. Yung mental aspect of the game that we were talking about, Ken, kanina, playing a lot of factor in this series.
And coincidentally, Coach Mike, Ralph Olivares leading the team in scoring 9 points. Samantala sa kabila naman yung fumaul sa kanya, Jodel Fuentes, top scoring for the Knights with 10.
Well, itong Tanduay Rum, they're fourth in terms of free throw percentages, making 69% of their shots. Samantalang ang San Juan Knights, a little bit better with roughly about 73% mix of the free throws that they attempt.
And so far tonight, itong Tanduay Rum Masters, 4 out of 5, 80% clip.
Look at the presence of Christian Bunyag. Dapat atake na yun, pero tumigil sila. Oh! And a little taunt here between Justin Gutang and Olivares.
Dalawang number 18 na nagbanggaan doon. But Jong Valoria was whistled for that foul, sending ito si Justin Gutang to the line.
Mahirap din para sa Tanduay Rum. Isipin mo, in open floor, you've got Jodel Fuentes, Justin Gutang, Orlan Wamar on the other corner. Who you gonna check? Who you gonna check, di ba? You know, medyo challenge. So, right now, I guess Coach Cholo is playing the percentages. You know, if you want to take the shot outside, we're okay with that. Wag lang kayo sa loob ng paint.
Sako pa dyan, Jonard Clarito.
Right.
As Gutang perfect on that trip. 12-1 run for the Knights.
And right now, the 5 that started the game for San Juan are the players on the floor. And so yan yung nakikita mong aggression.
Linganay, pasa kay Ablaza. Olivares challenging Clarito and Gutang. That's a hard task for anyone.
Grabe yung lundaga ni Gutang tsaka ni Clarito doon.
Clarito, pasa kay Wamar. Fuentes, pumukol na naman sa 3. Wala. Ablaza retrieves the ball. Time down to under 3 minutes. Olivares, bounce pass to Dexter Apinan for that easy reverse.
Wow, Dexter able to use that rim as protection, went the other way. That's great move by Dexter.
8 points so far for the former JRU standout. Clarito, great fake. Nahanap si Bunyag sa loob.
Everybody closed out on Clarito on that time. Sa likod nung zone na yun, doon sila umatake. And when you close out, you got that big man rolling. That's what Christian Bunyag did.
Olivares, short sa kanyang 3. Approaching the 2-minute mark in the second quarter.
Mukhang ginagawa dito nila Coach Nani is that, you know, hayaan na natin si Olivares ang tumira ng tumira, wag lang yung iba.
Meanwhile, you talked about this, Coach Mike. Christian Bunyag. Unexpected offense para dito sa San Juan.
In RGC, I talked about this guy, Christian Bunyag. And he is definitely playing that role right now for San Juan.
And that was our Puregold move of the game.
Well, everybody saw in that match yung mga threes, mga fast break and whatever. You gotta see the impact of itong si Christian Bunyag, and that's really what he's been doing and contributing para dito sa Knights.
Their last game, 8.7 rebounds in 28 minutes. At nagmintes siya sa kanyang free throw. Unil na rin, pinasok na rin dito. Wamar, no go.
Wow, and Jong Baloria, one of the top rebounding guards that we have. Maliit, pero ang taas lumundag at kaya makapagbanggaan sa loob.
Right now, they're trailing by 4 points. Baloria trying to change that. Empty on that trip. Wamar, pasa dito kay Fuentes. Wamar with the floater. Wala.
Grabe yung lundagan itong dalawang teams na to. I mean, this really is a do-or-die match for both teams.
Hindi counted yung basket na yon. But penalty na itong San Juan Knights. Kaya tutungo sa free throw line itong Tanduay. Joshua Gonzalez, pinasok na dito ni Coach Cholo. Replacing ito si Rudy Linganay. And subtle changes dito, Coach Mike. MJ Televerhen hindi pa pinapasok dito.
That's right. And tactical yung nangyayari dyan. Kanya-kanyang diskarte, kumbaga.
Nino
Nino Ibanez. First time seeing action for Coach Nani Epondulan. Baloria shooting 2 free throws. Tanda natin, Jong Baloria really instrumental for the cause itong Tanduay Rum Masters. Had 15 points in 23 minutes in game number 1. Coming off the bench, but this time around, pinag-start na siya dito ni Coach Cholo.
And just the way, I guess, that itong San Juan really weathered that storm to start the game. Ngayon, medyo kalmado ng konti ang both teams. Kalmado in a way na, you know, it's business as usual from a performance standpoint and a competition level. But the desire to win, very much burning in all of these players on the floor.
And very important for them to close out the first half on a high note. Ibanez, pasa kay Bunyag. Man, that jumper by Christian Bunyag, very underrated.
I feel that long close out of Olivares on that side of the zone is opening up that corner para dito sa San Juan Knights.
Ablaza not shy and knocks down that 3 from the left corner.
And finally we hear from Cedrick Ablaza, the many-time best player of the game dito sa season na to.
Wamar, bumawi with his 3rd triple.
These triples looking like layups for both these teams, Ken.
20 seconds left in the first half. Tanduay staring at the 4-point deficit. Gonzalez, bullet pass, Ablaza. Joshua Gonzalez. And that long arms of Christian Bunyag, a big obstacle to climb para dito sa Tanduay. See here, Cedrick Ablaza knocking down that high looper.
And he needed that.
Meanwhile, ito naman si Wamar. Magandang bawi for the San Juan Knights, bringing the lead up to 4 points, 47-43. Orlan Wamar, so far splendid performance here in the first half. Already 9 points. Leading his team to a 4-point lead as we wind down the first half of game number 2.
Well, it would be interesting to see these after timeouts para sa Tanduay to close the half.
Baseline inbounds with 4.3 seconds left. Gonzalez ang magpapasa dito kay Hernandez. Faking off his defender for that triple. What a way to punctuate the first half para dito sa Rum Masters.
And that's the quality of coaching that we have. Beautiful setup, even better fake. And Levy just shooting it up there, just like a layup.
Levy Hernandez now with 8 points, anchored by 2 triples. But they are trailing by a single point, 46-47. Man, itong Tanduay Rum Masters led by 9 points. But nakahabol itong San Juan Knights. Kaya naman ito turn you over kayo kay Megan Cabrera with Justin Gutang.
Maraming salamat, Ken. One of the guys who made that happen, Justin Gutang. Justin, you were down by 9 points and you answered with a 10-0 run. So what seems to be working for your team right now?
Whether they lead or not, it's still a long game. We're just gonna keep running. We're much younger than them, so we have that as an advantage to us. But yeah, we're just gonna be aggressive and keep grinding it out.
Justin, sabi nga ni Coach Nani, you have the heart and you have the spirit. How do you plan on maintaining this?
I just gotta keep the same energy as the first half. Keep pumping my guys up. No matter what tricks they do on us, I'm gonna just keep telling them calmer heads will prevail.
Thank you so much, Justin. Good luck to you and your team. Back to you, Ken and Coach Mike.
Thank you, Megan. So 46-47 here in the first half. Magbabalik po kami for the halftime analysis.
We have our starting lineups for the semifinals. Game 1 it is, featuring Tanduay and San Juan. For San Juan, it is Gutang and Clarito. Cruz.
here at halftime of Game 2 of the semifinals matchup between the Tanduay Rum Masters and the San Juan Knights, kung saan lamang ang San Juan 47-46 kontra dito sa Rum Masters. Ako po si Ken Pangilinan alongside Coach Mike Perez as we take a look at some of the highlights here in the first half.
Well, of course, everybody just thinking of paano mag-i-start ito, but immediately they went to the post itong Tanduay Rum, getting Ablaza involved, but it was the threes in the corners, on the wings, para dito sa San Juan that kept them in the game. We've seen a lot of threes as well from both teams, 16 three-pointers in the first quarter alone between these two teams, and of course, Levi Hernandez getting into the act, but Christian Bunyag happened middle of the second quarter, and Orlan Wamar able to get those consecutive triples in to keep this game really close between these two teams.
As we take a look at some of the stats here, Coach Mike.
Yep, and when you look at the field goal percentages, 40% versus 35. The attempts, medyo favorable sa side ng San Juan. Especially nung bumaba yan, nung dumating na si Christian Bunyag. Points of turnovers, it's advantage to San Juan, 11-6. And then yung bench points natin, really, ito makikita mo, Bunyag and Clarito coming off the bench para sa San Juan, spelling that difference on that stat. And inside points, definitely those offensive incursions para sa Tanduay Rum did them well in that quarter and in that half.
Makikita natin leading scorers almost identical for both teams.
That's right. Judel Fuentes knocking down those triples. Orlan Wamar and Justin Gutang. Those guys hit those threes, kaya ganyan ang scores nila. But ito, Christian Bunyag, 7 points. In game 1 alone, he scored 8 points for the entire game. But in here, we're not even talking about the entire first half. It's really just portions of that first half. When we swing over to Tanduay Rum naman, Olivares, they're making him shoot those shots. And Apinan, a little bit more comfortable now. Basta nung wala si Christian Bunyag and Levi Hernandez. Really good to have him combine with Cedrick Ablaza, and yung duo na yan, kailangan ng Tanduay to start this half.
Speaking of Tanduay, kasama ni Sam Coloso, ang assistant coach ng Tanduay Rum Masters, Dino Ponce Enrilo. Sam?
Thank you, Ken. Kasama ko nga ngayon si Coach Dino Enrile from the Tanduay Rum Masters. Coach Dino, the San Juan Knights made a 10-0 run on you nung second quarter. How do you address that?
Well, first of all, we have to take care of the ball very well, no? And then we have to minimize turnovers and adjust to the defense.
Coach, medyo dikit yung laban natin ngayon.
Well, it's the playoffs, no? So we're expecting that it's going to be a close fight between the two teams, no? So we'll see how it goes in the second half.
Thank you so much and good luck to you and your team, Coach Dino. Back to you, Ken and Coach Mike.
Thank you, Sam Coloso, reporting for Tanduay. Binanggit niya yung 10-0 run itong San Juan Knights. Sandaan natin itong Tanduay Rum Masters led in the second quarter by 9 points. Ito San Juan Knights countering with the 10-0 blast. At kaya lamang sila dito, 47-46 to open things up here in the third quarter.
And I guess yung energy nitong San Juan really describes kung ano yung sinabi ni Justin Gutang kanina, na we're much younger than them, we have fresher legs, and so we're just gonna keep having that energy and hopefully we prevail.
Apinan now has his 10th point.
Now, Dexter Apinan taking it personal now against Justin Bunyag. Will he be able to stop Dexter Apinan? Tingnan natin yan as this game goes.
And the 5 that opened the first quarter for Tanduay, pareho dito sa third quarter. Meanwhile, for San Juan Knights, si Christian Bunyag, ang magic bunot ni Coach Nani Pondolan to start the second half.
We'll talk about experience relative to the interview kanina kay Justin Gutang. You may have youth, but experience in one way or another could be an advantage on the other side. Maaring energy, but yung kaalaman mo pagdating sa game, that's a different thing altogether. And this is what this guy, Dexter Apinan, brings for the Tanduay Rum Masters.
Kung yung ibang teammates niya, Coach Mike, very down dahil sa pagkatalo nila, ito si Dexter Apinan, really relax nung shoot around, nung nakausap natin siya kanina. Parang basketball lang yan eh. Ang magagawa mo lang is bumawi in this game, and the epitome of that is Dexter Apinan, who now has 12 points.
Oh! Olivares doing an Alvarado there. Good job on Ralph.
Nauso eh, no, Coach? Kaya ngayon, lamang na dito ang Tanduay by 5 points, 52-47.
But I just love the aggressive attack of itong si Dexter Apinan leading his team. And look at that. Tightened up that defense, knowing na wala yung ibang point guards nila. As we see that beautiful steal Ang tawag nga dyan is nakaw. Tawag dyan sa street ball.
And that instant replay is brought to you by Smart. Simple, smart ako. Tanduay opening up with 6 unanswered points in the third quarter. Valoria, pasa dito kay Olivares. And away from the ball, matatawagan dito si Bunyag.
That's maybe one thing that Coach Cholo is trying to exploit and see what they can get if they go at the post defense of Christian Bunyag.
14 seconds to work with, and Olivares trying to outsmart Gutang, and he does!
Wow! And so far, when we look at the stats kanina, these two guys have actually been leading in points and in assists. Talking about Justin Gutang and Olivares. Let's look at that one, Ken. Wow. Behind the back of Justin Gutang, and Justin just couldn't believe that happened. Talk about experience.
Ralph Olivares, nung game 1, actually started to ignite a rally for Tanduay, even engaging to trash-talking itong San Juan Knights. But here in the third quarter, outsmarting itong si Justin Gutang, gets a split from the charity stripe.
Actually, she's the energy guy para dito sa Tanduay Rum. Na on the other end, nandun naman si Justin Gutang. So, interesting matchup between these two guys.
And Coach Mike, kanina pa sila dito, 1-3-1 zone defense.
That's right, and they're playing that zone para mahirapan sila to get that entry pass, especially to Christian Bunyag. But they gotta check those perimeter jumpers. Mark Acosta's gonna be free, and he's gonna take that if you give it to him.
That stroke looking good for the former Mapua Cardinal. Olivares, tinignan pa yung bantay.
Nakita mo yung before pa lumindag, lumungon muna. Diba? Grabe talagang, he knew that contact was coming. Look at that. He looked at Mark before he went up for that shot.
Wow. And that move of the game is presented to you by Puregold. Look at the stare down, that acrobatic finish.
There's just that certain level of athleticism that would allow you to do that. And so far, Olivares been really great for Coach Cholo Villanueva.
16 points for the former UE Red Warrior. Ralph Olivares, tandaan natin, in the elimination round, not really impressive number, 6.4 points per contest. Ablaza emphatically denying ito si Don Peralta. Olivares, balik kay Apinan, and Apinan triggles that shot in.
And more importantly, while that SWAT was emphatic on the other end, the energy on the finish para sa Tanduay Rum, really making those points in para dito sa Rum Masters.
So far, Tanduay outscoring itong San Juan 12-2 here in the third quarter.
And this 1-3-1 continues to do wonders so far para dito sa Tanduay.
Ibanez, pasa kay Wamar. O'Neal Arim, no go.
At parang nangyari, na-negate yung advantage ni Christian Bunyag with that 1-3-1.
Great adjustment by Coach Cholo as Olivares doing a wonderful job orchestrating plays para dito sa Tanduay.
Dribble penetration, in and out, seeing that gap. That dive by Ablaza, and the easy thing for Olivares to do was simply dish it. Look at that, in and out. That dive by Ablaza, and Cedrick just finishes with that hoop.
And that assist delivery is brought to you by Happily, which is now available via Grab Delivery and Takeout. Timeout muna tayo, magbabalik kami. Back here in the rising city of San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, kung saan matutunghayan nyo itong game number 2 between Tanduay and San Juan. Cedrick Ablaza starting for the very first time here in the season. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks for the former STI product.
And ang maganda dyan, very steady itong si Cedrick Ablaza. and you want him to explode anytime in this game.
Tanduay enjoying an 11-point lead so far. Peralta, nakabingwit ng foul doon.
Wow, and Cedrick Ablaza really just missed that block shot. He was going for that defensive board already. Can't blame him because he's got to contend with Christian Bunyag. And so ito si Cedrick talagang vital key rin para dito sa Tanduay Rum Masters. Go ahead, Ken.
And Coach Mike, very unfamiliar lineup for San Juan. But before that, Wilson is the official game ball of the 2022 Filbasket.
Yeah, and itong si Peralta, he can actually score. But once you have guys like this combination na hindi pa masyadong matagal yung experience nila sa loob ng floor, especially at what at stake in this game, we'll have to see kung paano sila magre-respond.
Meanwhile, makikibalita muna tayo first kay Sam Coloso.
Thank you, Ken. Sabi ni Coach Cholo from the Tanduay Rum Masters is when the team is up, what's important is to take care of the ball. We have to make sure passes and sure attacks. In terms of defense, he told his players to be aware on those shooters and communicate. Sabi ni Coach, we were in control and we have them at the ropes. Onti na lang, aayaw na sila. Yung bola ginto, treat it like something na ibibigay natin sa pamilya natin. Anong balita dyan, Megan?
Sam, para sa San Juan, they are prioritizing focus in the second half kasi alam nila Tanduay will do everything they can to extend this series. They will bring their energy, they will bring their physicality, so the Knights really have to focus and just keep playing. Ken and Mike?
Thank you, Sam and Megan, working the sidelines here. Coach Cholo Villanueva liking what he sees so far here in the third quarter.
Well, Coach Nani Pundalan as well, delivering those messages para sa San Juan. And they gotta expect that level is going to be different, the energy is going to be different, mas mataas siya because, again, Tanduay is gonna do everything in what they have to extend this series to Game 3.
At may natawagan ng technical dito. Looks like kontra dito sa San Juan.
Look at Orlan Wamar. He's the one who's talking to the players. Talked to him earlier and I said, there's a lot of physicality. Nung game na yun, medyo nagkaroon kayo ng konting girian ng ibang players ng Tanduay Rum. How do you respond that? Ano ba yung na-expect namin sa'yo? Ang sabi ni Orlan Wamar is this, alam na namin na magkakaroon ng ganun, pero titingnan natin kung paano kami magre-respond.
And ang natawagan ng technical dito is the coaching staff. One of the coaching staff nitong San Juan Knights.
Well, again, it happens. Even coaches can be competitive as well. Kaya in the heat of competition, may mga nangyayari talagang ganyan. Well, unfortunately, that time around, naputukan sila ng technical galing sa ating mga officials.
Coach Jong Garcia ang mukhang napituhan nun. 11-point lead, 6 minutes and 46 seconds left in the third quarter. Larito trying to attack the defense. Pasa kay Wamar. 4-3. No go.
Wow!
And Ato Ular.
Wow!
Skying high. Man, Ato Ular. A big insertion here for Coach Nani Epondulan.
Look at that. Polar grabbing that from Ablaza. Ablaza was ready to put down that rebound, but Polar with his left hand and those strong arms able to claim that rebound.
Kinalawit nitong ni Ato Ular, but missing on that free throw. Bunyag with that putback, wala. Apinan. Valoria. San Juan Knights over the limit. 6 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third, and we would like to thank our prize money sponsor, Medisure Pharmacy. Ablaza gets the contact.
And Coach Cholo likes to involve itong si Ablaza in those two-man games because the pick and pop is a huge threat. I'm sure ina-expect nila na magko-close out dun kay Ablaza. If they don't, you gotta make him go out and defend his shot from the outside, to which shooter itong si Cedrick Ablaza.
And makikita mo, Coach Mike, they're trying to bring out itong si Christian Bunyag from the paint to open things up down the lane para dito sa Tanduay.
That's right, para ma-force siya because like Ato Ular, you don't want to involve him inside pick and roll, especially out there on the wing because they're slow to recover when it goes downhill.
Ablaza missing on that first free throw. And mintis doon, and to make matters worse, lane violation ang tawag kontra dito sa Rum Masters.
Of course, Coach Cholo not liking that missed free throws from Cedrick Ablaza. But they gotta move on to the next possession. Kalimutan na natin yan. Let's move on to the next.
I would like to remind you that Filbasket is brought to you by Cilium Fiber, manufactured by Leoni Agri Corporation. Judel Fuentes, binalik na dito. Pasa kay Clarito. Peralta, seeing quality minutes here, gets fouled there.
Yeah, they actually like doing that. When that ball is on that post on the corner, they have the opposite wing diving going middle because the defense is technically nakatalikod dun sa wing na yun. Kaya sobrang libre nung dive na yun every time para dito sa San Juan.
Peralta so far with 5 points. Justin Gutang getting a breather from the bench. Mintis na naman. But Clarito gets swatted away. And we would like to thank Cantigo Scoreboard Multisports Scoring Solutions.
Wow! This game is played on both ends of the floor. Normally, dunk on the other end, dunk sa kabila, pero to block on the one side and block on the other. Look at that. Jexter with a beautiful block by Clarito.
No easy baskets dito sa larong ito as Valoria coming off a screen. Fade away. Trickles out. Wamar being hounded by the defense. Pero may napituhan doon.
Boy, 3 players down on the floor.
Apinan, Lingganay at itong si Orlan Wamar. As we take a look, hindi man sadya, nabagsakan lang nito ni Jexter.
Nagkabungguan, 3 players that time. And momentum carried Jexter to the floor. Unfortunately, nandun si
masakit yun.
Orlan Wamar.
You know Orlan Wamar, one tough cookie.
Yep.
5'6" man ang height, pero yung puso niyan ibang klase.
Tsaka he says earlier na talagang expected na nila na magkakaroon ng ganitong level ng physicality itong game na ito.
Orlan Wamar wax hot in the first half. 9 points, 3 booming triples. Pinasa niya dito kay Peralta, who's really looking for his shot. Wamar, that floater, too strong. Battle for the loose ball. Mapupunta dito sa Tanduay.
Boy, you gotta love the energy of itong si Jonard Clarito, si Olar, at saka itong si Peralta. Parang hindi nawala si Christian Bunyag sa loob.
Approaching the halfway point of the third quarter.
And right now, Jexter Apinan really just being active offensively, trying to get into that shaded area and hopefully fish some fouls and an N1 if kung meron man yun.
9-point lead for Tanduay, 62-53. Lingganay using the Apinan screen.
Wow, what a move!
Great slip of the screen there, Ablaza. And Clarito grabs the loose ball. Fuentes running down the lane. Pasa kay Ular. Judel Fuentes for 3.
Look at, wow. You see that? John Valoria just getting that defensive board.
At may gigil dun eh.
Oo, grabe. And if you're a fan, you're liking this energy.
Jexter Apinan. Sorry, miss. Clarito.
Jexter's been getting those rolls, but he's got to convert.
Wamar still empty here in the third. Fuentes, wala pa din. Clarito kontra Ablaza. Referees letting the players play. And bad news para dito. Actually, Tanduay was whistled for that foul. Kaya ito na, free throws para dito kay Clarito.
Pero literal na talagang banggaan sa ere. Parang nagsasabong ng mga manok to mga players ng San Juan at Tanduay Rum. And the competition really is bringing out the best in these guys.
John Ray Villanueva pinasok dito ni Coach Cholo.
So far, itong si Jonard Clarito, really very crucial para dito sa San Juan Knights, especially yung offensive boards niyan. Grabe kung tumiming ng offensive boards yan. I talked to him earlier, sabi ko, ano ba yung ginagawa mo sa rebounds mo? Kakaiba ka mag-rebounds. Sabi niya, hindi ko alam eh. Basta pag nakita ko yung bola na nasa ere, my instinct is to go after it eh.
Kaya lang, empty on that trip. But currently has 4 points, 8 rebounds. Ablaza, nice find inside! And King, importante! Man, how did it get that shot in? Look at that.
Equally, that beautiful read there by Ablaza, but the King in the paint. And ang importante, pumasok yung tira ni King.
I love the pun, Coach Mike, and that assist delivery is brought to you by Happily, which is now available by a grab delivery and takeout.
But seriously, itong si King, importante. Even if you talk to the coaching staff, I'm sure sasabihin nila napakalaki ng value na binibigay nitong si importante sa kanila.
Time down to under 4 minutes. Tanduay enjoying a 12-point lead. Peralta kontra ay Villanueva. Fuentes. 6 seconds to work with. Step back. That three drops.
And you see that look of Fuentes on Olivares after he made that three.
Importante. Gandang pasa kay Villanueva. But unable to capitalize.
Well, San Juan dodged a bullet there. Oh, bagsak na naman sa floor. I think it's 3 times already we've seen Wamar on the floor.
And Peralta trying to step over. I think dito kay Jong Bologna, kaya ito re-reviewin ng referees yung panggaan doon.
But the amount of contact that we have, let's look at that again. Goes down on the floor. These two guards. And wow, Peralta just going over Baloria there.
Not sure what he was trying to do there. Talking about Don Peralta, he's actually having a decent game so far. 5 points. So wala din tinawag doon. So tinawagan lang doon si Jong Baloria for that defensive foul, sending itong si Orlan Wamar to the free throw line.
So didn't have any call for that step over nitong si Peralta. Sometimes you have to send little messages along the way.
Orlan Wamar unable to knock down the first free throw.
Parang yung si si Tyrone Lue na ini-step over.
Si AI, no?
Si AI, no?
Wamar so far 9 points, make that 10 to go along with 5 rebounds. But Coach Cholo Villanueva, humingi muna ng timeout dito. Lamang sila ng 8 puntos, 65-57 here in the third quarter. Napakasaya ang crowd nitong San Jose del Monte Sports Complex dito sa Bulacan, at bakit nga naman hindi, dahil mainit ang aksyon natin, Coach Mike, dito sa game number 2 between Tanduay and San Juan.
Mainit ang aksyon, buti na lang malamig ang aircon talaga dito sa San Jose del Monte Sports Center.
Approaching the 3-minute mark in the third quarter. Tanduay up by 8. Levi Hernandez pinasok na dito kontra kay Fuentes. 6 seconds on their shot clock. Hernandez sa loob. Still no go.
They're trying to milk that opportunity para dito kay Levy Hernandez after that strong end of the first half. Look at that.
Great deflection by Levy. Pinasa niya dito kay John Ray. At foul kontra dito sa Tanduay. So free throws na naman para sa San Juan Knights.
Much opportunity para dito sa Tanduay. Sayang yun. That was 2 versus 1. But Olar held his ground and just waited for that shot to go. And so he defended.
Coach Cholo Villanueva must not like the fouls here so far in the third. Sila'y lamang dito pero binibigyan nila ng free throws itong San Juan Knights.
But one thing pa, you're not liking that because you just came off a timeout,
right?
Diba? And you're supposed to talk things over and be better after each of the timeouts. Unfortunately for them, both free throws muffed by Ato Olar.
2.5 minutes left here in the third. Importante kontra ay Ular. Pasay Ablaza. Drives right, steps back. Takes that shot. No go. Battle for the ball. Ular. And happily is now available via grab delivery and take out. And foul na naman at free throws ulit para sa San Juan.
And itong si Peralta just keeps on playing the game. Jab step right, going baseline. Talagang walang takot eh. And I guess he really just resonates kung ano yung message na binibigay sa kanila ni Coach Nani Pundulan.
Don Peralta seeing extended minutes here in the third quarter. The former Perpetual Help player who played under Coach Frankie Lim.
Well, especially if you're playing for Coach Frankie Lim. Alam mo naman si Coach Frankie, he loves to hype up yung mga players to the level of competition na kailangan in each of the game.
Meanwhile, for Tanduay, pinasok dito Joshua Gonzalez, Dexter Apinan.
Well, I felt that's a much needed rest for Ralph and Cedrick para makabalik pa sila ng fresh in the fourth quarter.
Approaching the 2-minute mark in quarter number 3. Hernandez natapikan doon. Fuentes pulls up from 3. That's short. And foul ulit this time kontra sa San Juan. At penalty na sila rin dito.
Well, tries already in the last 2 quarters na itong si Coach Cholo using Levy Hernandez in the last part of the quarter. And we see that again.
Trying to sneak in from behind.
Yeah.
Joshua Gonzalez, ginamit lang ni Coach Cholo Villanueva in the second half in that loss in game number 1. You talk about Levy Hernandez. Struggled in game 1 but magandang bawi naman so far here in game number 2.
And I think yung first na start na niya na yon in game number 1, maybe Coach Cholo was trying to experiment on something. Really, it was the strong start of San Juan that drove that game.
Peralta, jump shot, short. Clarito. Over the outstretched arms ng Rum Masters gets that shot to drop in.
And again, consistent to my conversation that I had with Jonard, he just goes up for that leather and will really just power himself through on that end one.
Dalawang pump fake. Sa pangalawa, kumagat yung dalawang defender. And Clarito completes the 3-point play. Cuts the lead down to 5 points. Gonzalez. Importante, 3-on-2 break. Apinan, second serving. Still no good.
And Tanduay just missing point blank. How many times have we seen right there already in front of them, they couldn't buy a basket?
Kaya masakit pa doon. Pumaul na si Levy Hernandez. Frustration foul, sending ito si Judel Fuentes to the free throw line.
Yeah, clearly he held onto the wrist of Judel Fuentes. And good call by the ref and a little nudge from Levy.
Judel Fuentes medyo umakting pa doon but now on the free throw line.
Minsan talaga kailangang ibenta mo rin eh para makita eh.
Judel Fuentes shooting 90% from the stripe. Knocks down both free throws. It's now a single possession ball game. Hernandez. Pasa dito kay importante. Gonzalez kontra kay Wamar. 13 seconds to work with. And Fuentes this time tinawagan ng foul.
King Importante had a good idea in mind. Once he saw that Judel was fronting itong si Levy Hernandez, matic mismatch yun. You have to give that loop inside so that Levy can work in the paint. Look at that. He fronted, and that pass was the right pass on that situation. And kita mo si Olar kagad ready na to help out.
Umawat eh. But Levy Hernandez missing on that first free throw.
But defensively, dun sa lapit na yun ni Olar, that's from a coach's standpoint, ang term nila dyan is you help flow side. Sabi sabihin kung sino yung nasa baba, siya ang tutulong pag naka-front yung depensa.
Gets the friendly bounce on that second free throw. CJ Isit, matagal nating hindi nakita, Coach Mike.
Oh, we almost forgot about CJ Isit. It only means that itong sila Wamar doing a really good job on the floor para dito sa San Juan.
Peralta pumasok sa loob, but Jexter Apinan solid on D. Pasa dito kay Gonzalez, bullet pass inside. John Ray with the finish.
Finally, they get a basket point blank. They could have been up more kung nababasket nila yung kanina, but that's a welcome relief for Coach Cholo Villanueva.
Back and forth we go. Tandaan natin, Tanduay led by as much as 12 points early in the third. Clarito, spin move, wala. Clarito pa rin! At pumasok!
Wow!
Kakaiba talaga. Jonard Clarito with that finish.
Nakaka-amaze na yung one dribble spin na ginagawa niya eh. But the offensive boards and the manner that how he does it and those putbacks, hindi madali para sa kahit kanino except for Jonard Clarito.
Sticking his tongue out. Nangalabaw sa loob. Itong former De Ocampo College standout. Jonard Clarito.
Kobrang-kobra maglaro eh, no?
Clarito so far 7 points, 9 rebounds. Gonzalez cross court. Apinan, wala. Isit passes to Clarito. Skying high for his 12th point.
He glided almost from the top of the free throw line.
Importante, natawagan ng traveling doon.
A possession back. Si Levy was asking for that leather from Jexter Apinan. But look at that again, on that glide. Wow, look at CJ Isit. But boy, that glide from the free throw by Jonard Clarito. You gotta love that if you're Coach Nani Pundulan.
Man, Clarito is something else for the Knights, providing that intangibles. Meanwhile, John Ambuluto, first crack here for Coach Cholo. 4 seconds left in the third. Fuentes, pasa kay Isit. Clarito sa loob. At mauubusan sila ng oras. But nonetheless, Tanduay Rum Masters clinging on to a 2-point lead, 70-68.
Well, it's been an all Jonard Clarito show so far, especially in the latter part of the third quarter where he took over. But at the start, it was Ralph Olivares who really took the charge para dito sa San Juan, sa Tanduay. But man, you gotta love that glide to that hoop for that basket by Jonard Clarito.
Fourth quarter in just a bit. Don't go away. Jonard Clarito, what a monstrous end to that third quarter. 11 points, 10 rebounds, double-double na. And we're just here at the start of the fourth.
Sabi nga ng mga player doon sa namin, sa lugar namin, pag may dumarating na magaling maglaro, ang tawag nila doon, halimaw. Talagang halimaw itong nilalaro. Ito si Jonard Clarito.
Isit finds Bunyag inside and gets a trip to the line. And you see the quarter scoring here, Coach Mike. Dikit na dikit all throughout.
Yeah, talagang almost even-steven. Talagang dikitan lang yung laban. Actually, kahit hanggang sa dulo ng quarter, nararamdaman mo yung competition sa dalawang teams na ito. But itong si Christian Bunyag so far, I like that quick roll on that short pick and pop with CJ Isit. And they're really, I guess, trying to get Bunyag going, especially as he impacts whatever Tanduay is doing.
Tied ball game here early in the fourth quarter. The five on the floor for Tanduay. Gonzalez, Villanueva, Importante, Ambuluto. And this man, Levy Hernandez, who misses on that fast break layup. Samantala for San Juan, we have Orlan Wamar, Justin Gutang, Jonard Clarito, Christian Bunyag, and CJ Isit.
Wow.
Helter-skelter basketball. Isit, pasa kay Gutang. And another foul called against Tanduay.
And Justin Gutang, true to his words, went down on the floor, immediately picks himself up. Hindi siya magpapa-apekto kung anong physicality ang meron because he knows what's at stake for this match, especially with him being the MVP of the season.
Meanwhile, Jong Baloria and Cedrick Ablaza replacing John Ambuluto and Levy Hernandez.
2 shots for Justin Gutang.
Justin Gutang, recently named the most valuable player of the Filbasket Summer Championship.
Well, of course, itong San Juan also, Ken, we talked about Tanduay Rum being 11-0, but itong San Juan at one point in the eliminations could have been also 11-0 if not for those close matches that they lost.
As you see the rebounds nung first half, lamang na lamang itong Tanduay, out-rebounding by 11 itong San Juan. But here, in the third quarter, San Juan Knights, 6 more rebounds here.
And those boards, I guess, are going to be a factor really in this game because every rebound that you get gives you a new opportunity to attempt for a score.
Villanueva gets thwarted by the arms of Christian Bunyag.
Quick reaction to that quick inbound by Christian Bunyag.
9 minutes left in the fourth. Ablaza.
Ooh!
And if you're Joshua Gonzalez, you don't like that spot. Usually camping out from the three-point line ito si Joshua Gonzalez eh.
Not really his normal comfort zone, but that pass was pretty good para dito kay Cedrick Ablaza.
Spin move by Isit is good.
So let's take a look at this. Christian Bunyag and CJ Isit scoring the initial points of the quarter para dito sa San Juan and forcing them more into turnovers. Oh, what a block!
But Clarito relentless in his pursuit. At itong Tanduay nahihirapan dito sa pressure defense ng San Juan. Baloria for 3. No! Importante, giving them a second opportunity.
And Tanduay really fighting for their life in this quarter. They gotta do good here because this could be their last quarter.
And that instant replay of the game is brought to you by Smart. Simple. Smart ako. Man, Jonard Clarito. Second half, nangangalabaw sa loob. As we turn you over first to Megan Cabrera for this report.
Thank you, Ken. Sabi ni Coach Cholo Villanueva from the Tanduay Rum Masters, we have to be more aggressive when it comes to defense. We need more rebounds. Kamusta dyan sa kabilang koponan, Megan?
Sun energy is clearly high on the San Juan side from the coaches, players, and even the crowd. For Coach Nani, simple lang. He just reiterated their plays and defense, especially in the last 10 minutes. Ken and Coach Mike?
Thank you, Sam and Megan. Pati ako nagkaagulo na dito dahil Ibang klase ang fourth quarter dito between Tanduay and San Juan.
Look at that takeoff by CJ East. It got sandwiched between Importante and Cedrick Ablaza. Boy, the level of involvement ng mga players, parang it feels like it's a collegiate game altogether para dito sa mga players natin for both teams.
8 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Tanduay needs to regroup. They are trailing so far by 7 points.
CJ East so far with 1 assist and 3 points already in the fourth quarter.
CJ Isit 19 points in game number 1. Now has 6 here.
Also that's 6 points already in the game, right?
Importante kontra ay Sarangay. Pasa ay Ablaza. Swings it. Valoria. And gets whistled for that offensive foul.
And look at Justin Gutang.
If I mentioned, isa sa mga snub in the all-defensive team, pinakita niya dito. Keeping in step with the much quicker Jong Valoria.
Well, once he saw that shoulder go down, immediately sent that message that this is going to be a foul on Jong Valoria.
8-point lead. 7 minutes and 38 seconds left in the fourth. Easy at 4-3. He buries
wow! CJ Isit just starting off where he left off in game number 1. And boy, this guy is highly involved. Look at this one, Ken.
Isit using that Sarangay screen. Crossover dribble, knocking down that 3. And Tanduay in trouble here in the fourth. They are down by 11 points. Magbabalik po kami. Look at the crowd here at the San Jose del Monte Sports Complex in Bulacan. CJ Isit, 19 points in game 1. Here in game number 2, 9 points and 6 assists. 5 here in the fourth quarter, bringing the lead up to 11 points, 81-70.
This is going to be a very important 7 and 26 minutes para dito sa Tanduay. They want to turn things around.
Olivares does with that mid-range jumper.
That's one good thing for Tanduay. Olivares is still in there and converting.
Isit kontra ay Villanueva. Still a lot of time left. But great pass by Gutang. But Womar misses.
Well, Tanduay needs those stops, but they gotta convert on the other end. Ooh!
Jexter Apinan, CJ Isit involved in that collision. Right in front of the Tanduay bench. So tingnan natin. After that pass, Apinan falling down. What do you think, Coach Mike?
Well, he went on top of Jexter Apinan and Jexter had that possession, so I guess that's gotta be a foul.
I think ang inaano ni Jexter doon is mukhang nang bagsak pa ng left arm. Ito si CJ
second,
Isit.
may second motion pa.
Although, if you're San Juan, you would say he's just trying to brace for his fall. Trying to, kumbaga tinutukod niya yung left arm niya eh.
But if you're Tanduay, you gotta stay focused. Yun ang sinesenyas palagi kanina pa ni Coach Cholo. He's just pointing to everyone, just stay focused. And of course, itong si Coach Cholo Villanueva, having led this team to an 11-0 run. Right now, his system is just really trying to slowly but surely get back in this match. And hopefully, the players on the floor would respond to the schemes that they have prepared against San Juan.
if you're Coach Cholo Villanueva, you just want your players to stick to the game plan. Malayo pa ito eh. 9-point lead, but still 6 minutes and 55 seconds left here in the fourth quarter.
And we've seen weirder things happen in Filbasket. 2 games, 23 points down, able to come back in the final quarter.
CJ Isit nahatulan ng unsportsmanlike foul. So Jexter Apinan will troop to the line for 2 free throws at bola babalik dito sa Tanduay.
Yeah, exactly that was CJ was saying. Na pagkabagsak niya, he was really just trying to cushion his fall.
So you'll be the judge of that one.
Yeah, you'll be the judge. I don't think that's cushioning the fall. Maybe the first one, yes. But the second one, everybody's entitled to what they see. So we'll leave it at that.
Much needed points for Tanduay. Jexter Apinan so far having a solid outing for Tanduay. 17 points, 10 rebounds. CJ Isit natawagan nga kanina ng unsportsmanlike foul.
Right now, Ken, this is just a 2-possession game. Oh, the 3-possession game rather.
But malayo pa ito, Coach Mike.
Yeah,
6
malayo
minutes.
pa.
46 seconds left.
Right.
But shot clock winding down for the red shirts. Olivares pulls up from beyond the arc. No, Clarito skies high for the rebound.
Ibang klase talaga rebound yung Clarito. Eh. Walang box out, lulundag lang ng derecho. Parang si Apreco eh.
Isit being guarded by Olivares. Sends it to Sarangay. Shot clock 7 seconds. And foul whistled at bad news for Tanduay. Penalty na sila dito.
And you can tell the look of frustration on Jexter Apinan because he went over to help out, sensing that San Juan was already in trouble in that possession until that whistle got blown.
And marami sa kanilang players in foul trouble. We've got Jong Baloria, 4 fouls. Ralph Olivares, Cedrick Ablaza, and John Ray Villanueva with 3 apiece.
So far, I think it's Olivares that's leading all scorers with 19. And CJ Isit now with 10 points and 6 assists. That is 11 point already.
Brings the lead up to 9 points. 83-74. Villanueva trying to attack the defense of Sarangay. And another turnover. Gutang, bounce pass. Counter steal by Baloria. Baloria. Wala, Apinan. Trying to find ito si Ablaza. Bola mananatili sa Tanduay.
Not sure if it's just me or it seems that masyado nagmamadali ang Tanduay Rum to get to the open floor. They're rushing it a bit. We'll see how this goes for the Rum Masters.
14 seconds to work with. Olivares for 3. Still nothing. And battle for the loose ball. And why not? These two have been the masters in terms of grabbing the boards. Talking about Clarito and Apinan.
And on that missed 3 attempt, look at those 2 guys. Actually, there's 3 of them, but ending up with the ball is Jexter and Clarito. And grabe talaga to si Clarito lumundag rin eh. Kakaiba rin eh.
And jump ball mananatili sa Tanduay. Shot clock back to 14 seconds.
Tsaka alam mo yun yung bola pag nasa kanya parang magnet na sa kamay niya. Hindi mo na matanggal eh. No?
Akin to eh. Olivares, nahanap si Ablaza but Justin Gutang with the denial but Ablaza. Magandang sagot naman doon.
And they needed that. Tanduay needed that.
Try to chip in that lead. But they have to play disciplined defense here.
And Mark Sarangay actually doing a good job of staying in this match, bringing quality minutes while Christian Bunyag sits on the bench.
And another steal by Tanduay as Wilson is the official game ball of the 2022 Filbasket. Baloria using the Apinan screen. Thinking free, Jexter. Back to Jong for 3.
Big.
That's a miss.
That was a good look from Jong though. That would have cut this down to a 4-point game.
Just past the halfway point of the fourth quarter. 83-76. Wamar sneaks through the screen. Gutang. 6 seconds to work with.
Good anticipation there by Ralph Olivares, sensing that that's gonna be a hockey pass. On the other end, see that block, and that second time around, both the MVP top 2 candidates going at it on that last possession.
Crucial stop for Tanduay. They need to convert here. Apinan, in and out dribble. Wala pa din. 4 on free break. Wamar tries a free and he knocks it down.
There is just no let up on this San Juan guys on the floor, including the bench people from the Knights team, really just supporting their team.
10-point lead for the Knights. Valoria tries to answer. It's still short. Battle for the loose ball. And CJ Isit. Oh no, it's Valoria who's been called for that foul. Penalty na dito.
Oh, and Valoria could not believe that call as we see that triple made. And look at the crowd.
Yup, the crowd moment is brought to you by Smart. Simple. Smart ako. And big development here for Tanduay. Jong Valoria fouls out with only 6 points. And Rudy Lingana ay pinasok dito ni Coach Cholo Villanueva. And noticeably, Coach Mike, no Levy Hernandez.
Yup, and mukhang this could be tactical on the side of Coach Cholo, but you gotta bring in guys that you feel would give an impact, especially as you trail by 10 at the 4-minute mark of a knockout game for your team.
CJ Isit, 11 points, 7 assists, but missing on those 2 free throws, leaving the door open for Tanduay.
And Rudy Lingana finally on the floor for the Rum Masters.
Using that Apinan screen. Pasa dito kay Olivares. 6 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. John Ray, no. And Clarito in transition. Nadulas lang doon.
Boy, but if that transition went its way, as we see that slip there by Jonard Clarito, you got Justin Gutang getting ready for that offensive board. So these two guys, very strong, very athletic, high leapers. You don't want to meet them on open floor.
And the pressure of San Juan still unrelenting here. 3.5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Will Tanduay mount a comeback or will San Juan go back to the finals?
Wow.
Olivares, sabi niya, relax muna kayo. Matagal pa ito.
There's one guy that's continuing to produce for Coach Cholo. Ito talaga si Ralph. Really helping out his team here.
Olivares, breakout game, 20 points. Gutang attacks middle. Great defense by Ablaza.
But you gotta convert on the other end though.
John Ray. I don't like that shot, Coach Mike. Early in the shot clock. But still a long way to go for the Rum Masters. 8-point lead being enjoyed by San Juan. 10 seconds to work with. Isit kontra Apinan. 3 seconds. Floater. Wala. At naputukan na sila dito ng 24. 2 minutes and 27 seconds left. 8-point lead ang hinahabol dito ng Tanduay.
Season on the line para dito sa Tanduay Rum Masters. They gotta score quick here.
And that was our Puregold move of the game.
And this zone has produced much issues para sa Tanduay Rum.
Apinan, open free. He knocks it down.
This is just a 2-point game, a 2-possession game now.
Man, the veteran delivering for Tanduay when it matters.
They need one good stop here.
And the last 2 minutes of our ball game is brought to you by Smart. Simple. Smart ako. Isit. Fakes off Ablaza. Wamar for 3. No. Linganay gets fouled
Oh, wow.
by Mark Sarangay, pero hindi pa penalty dito ang San Juan.
Good thing for San Juan, they're not yet in penalty.
As we take a look at this battle for the rebound, Rudy Linganay. So it's been the veterans so far for Tanduay, Coach Mike.
So San Juan's gonna continue with that ploy. They delayed the possession at the backcourt and go a man zone here, but quick steal.
Gutang with the throwdown!
Wow! And the MVP sending a strong message tonight. This is his season. This is our time.
And CJ Isit with that foul, but we gotta take a look at that two-handed jam by Justin Gutang.
Seems to be sending that message to all you guys questioning that MVP. This one's for you. Things you don't see normally. And I'm gonna show my value in this match.
And that move of the game is brought to you by Puregold. Linganay. 12 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. Ablaza tumira sa tres. That's short.
Referees, the Tanduay players saying that got deflected. So that possession will remain with the Tanduay Rum Masters. Boy, the highlights of Justin Gutang just keeps on piling.
Important possession for Tanduay. 7 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. Trailing by 3 possessions, 88-81.
An all-important baseline out of bounds here para sa Tanduay Rum Masters.
Justin Gutang, the MVP so far. 12 points, 4 assists.
Well, both teams already in penalty.
Tanda natin itong Tanduay Rum Masters, 11-0 in the elimination round. Battle for the loose ball, jump ball, at bola mapupunta sa San Juan Knights.
Well, they're trying to run that usual play of after inbounding that leather inbounder goes to that corner. But that time around, botched because San Juan was ready for that setup.
Isit kontra kay Villanueva, matagal pa ito. Approaching the 1-minute mark of the fourth.
Oh, an 8-second violation here.
Great defense by Tanduay, but they need to convert on the other end.
And Coach Yong right there telling his guys to stay in this match. There's still a lot of time.
Linganay pulls up from free. In and out. And Clarito, pinaul dito ni John Ray. Villanueva, he will troop to the line for 2 free throws.
Wow, Jonard Clarito so far, monster game para dito kay Jonard.
Yup, 13 points, 13 rebounds.
And this two-headed energy duo of Gutang and Clarito just doing wonders for Coach Nani Pundalan and the San Juan Knights.
Jonard Clarito in his last 2 games really stepping it up. 21 points, 13 rebounds per contest. Shooting at a blistering 55.6.
Well, San Juan knew in that elimination match, they knew that win by Tanduay was a fluke. And later on, they continued to lose close games. And those are lessons learned para dito sa team ni Coach Nani. And they don't want to commit that same mistake, especially in a game that's high stake as this.
Oo, balikan natin yung elimination round matchup nila. It was that game winner, a putback by Jong Baloria.
Right.
Na nakatakas itong Tanduay Rum Masters, winning that game 78-76. But here in the semifinals, it's been a different story.
But what I observed as I watched the previous game in the elimination round and compared that to game 1, they really just tried to copy what they did in the third quarter, wherein they were very aggressive, quickly going to those spots in live turnovers and misses. And that really resulted in a strong start in game number 1. And right now, the important thing is na-sustain nila yung slow start nila until bumalik yung mga starters nila in Jonard Clarito and si Christian Bunyag.
Kung almost flawless yung elimination round itong Tanduay Rum Masters, kakaiba naman din dito sa San Juan Knights roller coaster ride in the elimination round, finishing only 5th, 6-5 record. Marami sa kanilang talo, come from behind yung kanilang opponent, particularly Bacolod. You have yung Danao City. They lost that crucial match. But here in the semifinals, at maganda rin dito, Coach Mike, Coach Yong Garcia back in the fold.
Yep. And itong Tanduay, of course, on the very first game on opening day, immediately sending a message to the entire roster of teams that after beating Nueva Ecija in a come-from-behind win, sending a message that, you know, we're a team to contend this season.
And Clarito trooping to the line for 2 free throws. And Coach Mike, maraming nawala dito sa San Juan. Sila nga yung finalist in the Filbasket Subic Bubble last year. Nawala si Ren Sabando, Alvin Abundo, Adrian Nocum, JM Calma, all big names, all contributed to their cause last year. But here, Justin Gutang at the forefront for the Knights.
Well, that mentality of next man up is what really brought them here, and not dwelling on those losses and the eliminations which they could have won. Again, we're going to go back to that scenario that it could have been San Juan with that 11-0 run in the eliminations.
And we would like to thank our prize money sponsor, Medisure Pharmacy. 32 seconds left. Tanduay staring at the 9-point lead. 11 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. Clarito trying to escape the defense. No. Got a score here if you're Tanduay. Apinan out of control. Trying to look for someone at naagaw ni Clarito. And the San Juan Knights, Coach Mike, are going back to the finals. Wow.
And Justin Gutang making that final statement with that slam, the last basket in game number 2. And everybody's just got goosebumps here right now. The Tanduay Rum Masters, 11-0 in eliminations, got bested out in a best of 3. And it is what it is, that San Juan Knights just happened to be waking up at the right time in this competition.
92-81 is our final score here in game number 2. San Juan Knights win the series here 2-0 kontra sa undefeated in the elimination round, the Tanduay Rum Masters. Quick recap lang tayo, Coach Mike. Here in this game, maganda yung start nitong Tanduay Rum Masters. In fact, even leading by as much as 12 points early in the third quarter. But the San Juan Knights, that unrelenting pressure really giving problems para dito sa Tanduay.
Well, you gotta credit the anticipation of Coach Nani Pundalan and the coaching staff of San Juan, not fielding in their usual starters, which did them well in the first game, and instead told them, go in there, start this game, sustain whatever run they make, and they want to send back the usual starters to build up statement for this game.
Meanwhile, we turn you over to Megan Cabrera. Kasama niya ang ating Puregold Best Player of the Game.
Maraming salamat, Ken. And for the third time this playoffs, we have Jonard Clarito. Jonard, double-double na naman tayo. Ano ang masasabi mo? Ano bang nagpaputok sa'yo ngayong playoff season na to?
Unang-una, siyempre yung communication namin. Tsaka ang nagpapanalo sa amin, yung hard work namin sa depensa. Yun yung nakapagpanalo sa amin.
Jonard, papunta na kayong finals. And ang isa sa mga interesting things na gusto talaga naming malaman, ano ang sinasabi mo kapag nag-huddle kayo ng team nyo? I know, twice mo silang pinul together para kausapin. Ano ang sinasabi mo?
Ang sabi ko sa mga teammate ko, pag ma-turnover kami, bawi lang kami. Next play para hindi kami mawala sa focus namin sa game.
Jonard, bati tayo. Ito na chance mo.
Una-una, nagpapasalamat ako kay God na binigay niya yung panalo sa amin. At saka kay Senator Jingo Estrada, kahit na nasa malayo, sumusuporta sa amin. Kay Boss Raymond Ang, kay Boss Nolet, at saka kay Boss Engineer Teddy. At saka yung mga loyalist namin na pag may laro kami, nandito palagi na sumusuporta sa amin. Tsaka yung binabati ko yung pamilya ko na nasa Davao, tsaka yung anak ko, tsaka yung pangalawang baby ko, tsaka yung asawa ko na sumusuporta sa akin na mahal ko kayo. Tsaka yung mga kaibigan ko, si Buyet Alberto, tsaka si Boss Jun, nandyan. Tsaka yung mga teammate ko dati na sa Pureso na nagkanya-kanya, may trabaho na. Hindi ko kayo may isa-isa. Basta maraming salamat sa suporta nyo, tsaka sa pamilya ko, tsaka sa asawa ko. Tsaka yung mga teammate ko na umaasa sa akin na sumusuporta kahit anumang mangyari.
Maraming salamat. Congratulations to you and your team. See you sa finals. Back to you, Ken and Coach Mike.
Thank you, Megan. The San Juan Knights completing the upset here in the semifinals, winning this series 2-0 via a 92-81 win over the Tanduay Rum Masters. And up next, ang pangalawang game natin dito, the All-Star Bacolod Ballers Bingo Plus trying to stay alive in this series kontra sa Nueva Ecija Capitals. On behalf of Ken Pangilinan and Coach Mike Perez, ayun, kita-kita tayo dito sa Filbasket Summer Championship presented by Puregold.